Welcome back to Woodburn. For 2025, Northwest Dubs presents the 40th annual Northwest Bug Run at Woodburn Drag Strip. The first VW event I ever attended just over 15 years ago now. This year, I spent most of my time covering the drag racing, but that didn't stop me from walking the car show. For this video, I want to reflect on where the VW community is, especially considering the last 5 years. There is one show and only one show that I can compare Woodburn to now, and that is Prado. Prado, of course, is a totally different beast, being the capstone event to a VW week in California. Woodburn is not part of a whole run of massive VW shows, but in terms of sheer size, it's now the largest show in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of the observations that I made about Prado are the observations I'm making about Woodburn now. One of the changes we should account for is the end of Bugorama in Sacramento. That means there's one less venue for swappers, especially full-time swappers who travel in from across the country. Instead of having a choice between Northern California or Oregon, now they just come to Oregon. All of them. And now they're competing with the VW camper people, including myself. You can't go to a VW bus camp without it turning into a swap meet of its own. Put them together, and here at Woodburn you can string together over a mile at least of open-air Volkswagen bazaar shopping. And that's why a bug run is no longer just a Saturday event. The gates have always opened up early for setup for vendors and swappers, but this year, the entire swap meet had been sold out within just a couple hours, and the camping area was jam-packed with buses and RVs before dinner time. The VW bus, in particular, is the driver for this phenomenon. All kinds of VWs are being restored and showed, but the bus is the true dual-purpose vehicle. For many of us, it's the ride there and the hotel room. As a lifestyle choice, the VW bus is still the king of utility. That's why all of the big VW shows around the world are built around VW bus camping. 10 years ago, I'm not sure this was the case, but it certainly is the case now. If you don't have a bus, you wish you had a bus when it comes to these shows. Especially when you realize, even when the car show trophies are handed out and the goodbyes are had, there were still a few buses down in the camp this year, and next year there will probably be a few more. And in a few years, I think Woodburn is going to become a multi-night event.
super uber rare. But these are legit. You do never see white seals.
I just got those.
It makes it really. I've always liked this car. I've been running against you and seeing this thing for a while.
Yeah.
I've raced you up at Renegade, I think.
Okay.
In Washington, Moxie.
Yep.
I've raced you in Edford. Raced you.
Yeah, all I do is beat the shit out of it.
It's fun. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Just have fun with it, man. Just have fun. I love it. I've always liked this car.
Yeah.
I always liked the look. Suicide doors were just so cool in my era.
Yeah, that's in my era.
And you don't see them, man.
No,
You just don't see them anymore.
That color.
What happened
Well,
to suicide
Well,
doors?
they disappeared so long ago that I knew nothing about it until they came back.
They're just so fucking
I'm seeing this
cool.
for the very first time, and this is cool as shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's Lincoln style, baby. Suicide
So,
doors.
you're right about the white seals because
Dude, it makes it.
they're infamous
really-
down in California.
Yeah, they're
No one
popular.
ever
You
runs
can't-
them, but
Not up here.
so I don't ever see them.
I've
But
only seen one other bug run.
this is cool.
And it was about 5 years ago they had white seals. And it was on an all yellow car, looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's like.
Thank you, Northwest Dubs, for putting on this show. It's been bigger and better every year since Northwest Dubs took over from Rose City Volksters. And with that, I offer an observation. The show is no longer one show, it's two. In a discussion with the organizers, I learned that Woodburn Dragstrip not only manages their track, but they also manage the whole racing portion of the show. This leaves the Northwest Dubs crew to manage the car show, the swap meet, and the campout. It's hard to describe Bug Run as one show anymore, because both of these portions are huge. On one side, Friday night, there were crunches and drama and tools blaring throughout the night. Hot meat and cold beer exchanged for holding a light. Friday night on one side of the track was full of guys trying to get their cars ready for tech inspection Saturday morning. On the other side, I noticed it's a lot of the same hot meat and a lot of the same cold beer being exchanged for a lot of the same holding of lights. But this was fixing something to get a car ready for the show, not a run down the track. It's interesting to watch two independent but parallel worlds coming this close to one another for a weekend over the shared love of the dub.
Yeah, that totally caught me by surprise. They absolutely both are juniors.
But they're both very different.
Right.
Different seats, different fat bars, different monkey bars.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the same front and rear gear. It looks like the same.
I see what you're saying about the different rear gear. It looks a little different.
What?
That's cool.
Oh,
You've got like the Stingray riding on mine. Mine is all but came off or.
and you know the crazy thing on some of these, like if you're like cleaning your bike, and so I have a few other Schwinns. And I'm going to like just wipe the bike down, and I just literally spritz some window cleaner on a paper towel, and I wipe over the spear, and it disappears. So think of all the times people out of Schwinn where they just took a garden hose and wipe it down, no problem. But I don't know if it's aging or some.
So the red's coming off
formulations.
or the blow white's coming off?
You have to be careful. On some Schwinns, you'll just wipe it with a damp towel and it'll just disappear. It'll smear right off.
Oh.
So I'm really careful. But I think this one is pretty well established. But some of them, it's either the formulation
Well,
of the
it
paint.
makes you wonder. Look, mine is
Or-
without everything, and so maybe that's what happened is they scrubbed too hard because I don't
It's
have
possible.
any decals on mine.
Yeah.
Except for here,
Yeah.
they're all gone.
Yeah. And this is
got a
screen printing.
1969 like license
Oh,
on it, bicycle license.
All right, and then something to check here.
Like this is I looked this up as a 67.
Oh, wait. So mine has a stamp right here, a serial number. And if I may, I want to pick yours up. Or actually, maybe it's over here.
I think the serial number.
Yours is probably older. Here it is. Yeah, yours is here. So this is Kilo Charlie 26803. So if you the K, I think is
6A must be 68. Yeah, it was a 67 or 68 is what I've always known.
the Kilo Charlie. Oh, there's even an arrow here. Wow, I've never seen that. So I don't know if the K is the month and the C is the year, or vice versa.
C means year usually.
Well,
C is Roman numeral for year.
it is a form of that, but then it's a positioning. They did in 1965. They switched to say A was 65, B was 66, and you go through the letters.
C was 67, which is what I think this is what I'm told this is.
Okay,
67.
so K, what letter in the alphabet is it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That'd be November.
Okay, so
November 67. Yeah. And then they moved the printing for the serial number from here, well actually the other side here, to right here. And so this is a Juliet Lima. It's like 74.
Okay.
So this is a much later bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
So Schwinn fun, man. That's cool. That's two Schwinn Juniors. You don't usually see any Schwinn Juniors and they have two together at one spot.
Are they that the juniors that rare?
A lot fewer of them,
Yeah, a lot
yeah.
fewer.
Because most of the bikes went to, adolescent, older kids, as opposed to little tweaks. Or tykes. Yeah, tweaks. Not tweaks.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun. Wanna have a race?
An old guy seat cushion.
Two guy race? I'll race.
Do a race.
My speed.
Let's go to the strip.